Hey guys, Stealth here. Welcome back to Transport Fever. It's episode 3 of my first playthrough, and for the moment I seem to be making money. But it's going to be questionable to see if I can keep that up, considering that my past hasn't been that profitable. The most profitable thing I have at the moment is this train. It is very uninspiredly named Train 2, after the first train which ran on this track, which has been discontinued. I found that it just was not making any money, so instead I decided to get another train track running from Colorado Springs all the way to Worcester. You can see that there's a significant amount of passengers already waiting here. The passengers are being picked up by bus all over town. I have 2 buses, or well, I might say that that's a bit of an optimistic term. This is what I use for a bus. It is called the Mac. It has a capacity of 9 passengers and is only traveling at about 25 kph. So it's not particularly quick. But it gets the job done of collecting passengers at my train station, which, I gotta say, is continuing to fill up. There's 53 passengers. That is way more than my train has capacity. Same is happening on the other end. And you can see that the passengers just got dropped off here at this bus stop after emerging from the train. So I have a plenty amount of passengers waiting here. And they're presumably trying to get on a bus, which is definitely getting crowded. Here's my bus, picking up 9 out of 9 passengers and dropping them off at the station. Okay, I got a new vehicle, the heavyweight 28-1 Parlor. I am more or less making money, but at least I'm not losing as much as I did. So that is definitely favorable. I'm still losing 82 grand a year, but it seems that most of my lines are profitable. The Worcester passenger line is about to make its way back to Colorado Springs. Correction, this is my bus line. Apparently, people are not paying enough for all of these. Do we have Max driving around empty? No. 9, 2, 9, and 2. Of course, some of them are going to be empty at times because they just need to ferry people from and to the station. And at some times, they're going to be busier when another train has arrived. But for now, I have made a profit and I haven't touched my company in a while, so good game. I'm actually getting profitable. Albeit very slowly. And there we go. Minus 18k. Get the train to come in. Be quick about it. How much are you carrying? 17 out of 32. It seems that people want to get from here to there much more than they want to get from Colorado back to Worcester. Which is interesting. Why would they only want to head in one direction? Is it more interesting in Worcester, or what's going on there? 11 grand. Worcester passenger line is struggling to make even. Minus 228. Yep, 226k. Positive, but only just. Okay, this thing has no further crude oil supplied. So I'm gonna have a few last runs. This thing, yep, is still full. This is gonna be the last run of my road vehicle 5. I'm gonna sell off those road vehicles to just survive, because they're not going to have any further function after having the supply taken out. So I want you to come home, heading for depot. How about you? 0 out of 6, head for depot. That leaves just 1 vehicle, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, there's just 1 more vehicle assigned to that line. Where are you at? Where are you at? Is that you? Yep, that's road vehicle 5. There is nothing waiting in Lower Worcester, so this one again is going to get sold off. There's a new couple of units available, the Mac AC and the Mikado 282. Or Mikado, I'm not sure how you're supposed to pronounce that one. Anyway, line 2. I'm going to sell off this line, it doesn't really do anything anymore. And the vehicles that are in here are going to get sold. Whoops, sold, sold. I actually made a profit last year, and that is where I still had no sales of vehicles. So if I don't do too badly this year, I should make a profit. If I don't do anything stupid. 32 passengers in the train. We have 25 passengers waiting in Colorado Springs. It's okay. It's okay. It does say mediocre. So line usage ratings from poor to outstanding. I want to get to outstanding eventually. It's not going to go anytime fast though. Still mediocre on that end. 185k. There it is. Green numbers. We're making a profit. I want to try and sell off or repay some of my debt ASAP because my debt is costing me about 140k a year. And by repaying another 500 grand, I should be able to start keeping that down as much as possible. This one's full. There's still 18 people waiting. There's 23 on that end, with presumably a bus coming in. 28. See, they're all walking from the bus stop directly to the station. It's just a short walk. Cha-ching! 184. Yeah, now we're getting somewhere. It's gonna take a while though to get my company a bit more profitable than it is. It's gonna take quite a while, I'm afraid. I'm considering buying another car. Another passenger car for this train. It's gonna take a while. And that seems to be the middle name of this game. Take a while, because initially it's pretty difficult to make a profit, or rather I should have started out with a passenger line and not have gone for this thing. One thing that is working in my favor is that my railroad running costs or property maintenance, actually I do have property maintenance for this. Yeah, so I could demolish my stations and hopefully save a bit on costs, is what I'm thinking right now. What? New vehicle. The Peter Witt streetcar. So I could build streetcars if I wanted to. Which are, I think... Where are they at? Are they under road vehicles? Why road vehicle? No. But you're not a train, are you? No. So what are you? Curious. They're probably a tram of some sort. But I... honestly... Oh, bus tram station. Then... why can I not buy a road vehicle or whatever the thing was? Passengers, nope. Freight, nope. So it's available, but it's not really available. If that makes sense. Which, to me, it doesn't, actually. 25 waiting. I want to have so many people waiting that it's going to get profitable to buy another car. 205k profit last year, look at that. 156 negative this year. Why? 30k, thank you. Why are we not making positive anymore? Income from railroads. Look at that, 368k this year, 700k last year. With the operating cost of the railroad at 350 or 335, I am making positive. So that's good. I'm considering tearing down this line here, this train station, because I think it is costing me money. But unfortunately it doesn't really say. It only says how much it's been transporting. So I think that that could be a potential upgrade for the game, or potential further use of information, as I don't know how much I'm paying for this train station. Which is significant information, because if this thing is costing me 10 grand a year, I want to know about it. If that is something that I can save money on by demolishing it, then yes please. How much will it cost to demolish? 12k? Ouch. No thank you, not yet. Okay, so I have some money now, and I can use that to pay off a bit of debt. Let's do that. Let's get rid of my debt. That was definitely expensive. And for some reason it doesn't... Or does it? Where does that show up in my bank account? It doesn't, does it? Not really. And now I just basically have to wait another long time in order to get another bit of terrain built, or transport network built. So I'm going to pause the video here, and when I get back to actually having money, I'm going to resume the video so you don't have to suffer through all of that. Hang on, go get a drink, and I will be right back. Alright, we're back. I figured out something very interesting. I figured out that if you have a look at the finances, you can see that when I paid off 500k, it saved me only 7k a year. So paying off your loan is really not that interesting. It is way more interesting to just borrow a bit more and expand my capacity. So that's exactly what I'm going to do, because there are consistently getting more and more passengers waiting here. This station is alright at 37, although by the time I get there, there will be quite a few more passengers. Worcester is also filling up quite nice, so 36 people on that end. To that end, I'm going to buy another car for this train. And that train car is going to be... Actually, I'm considering selling this vehicle and getting a better one. Because the Atlantic is faster. It will travel at 100 kph. Which means it's going to be taking less time to get from A to B, and that means more profit. It'll also mean I have to upgrade my passengers, or my passenger cars. I'll have to buy a couple of these big boys. Yeah, it's an experimental game. Let's experiment some more. So, we're going to borrow a bit more, which will push my loan interest up, but I'm not too worried about that. I could immediately go for the Milwaukee Road Class EP2. It's really quick at 113 kph, which I think for 1919 is pretty damn fast. But it's a bit too much. So we're going to upgrade from the Mogul to either the Atlantic or the Mikado. And this one is both faster and has lower running costs. This one has more tractive effort. It has more power. With it, it can pull heavier loads, but I don't find passenger cars to be that heavy. So one of those. And then I'm going to need something that can transport passengers, preferably at a speed at the same thing as my locomotive, which is the Atlantic. So that's at least 100. And the only one that can do that is this one, the 6-axle passenger car, capacity 18. So I'm going to buy 2 of those and get my debt up even more. I'm now 12 million in debt with the bank, but I can passenger transports. Sure, I can transport passengers a bit faster than I used to, which hopefully will get me more money as the train can make more trips. So let's have a look. We're going to be following this train for a bit. Now take note, this is at 3 times speed. It doesn't actually look like this. This is as if the train is going 300 kph. Or only if it will get up to that, because it's only doing 70 kph currently. So it's not really even moving that fast. But it is already quite a bit faster than the one that I was using. This one actually makes it up to about 80 kilometers per hour. The other one didn't quite get there. And I can actually just empty out this station. 46 out of 54 passengers. And it looks like Worcester is going to be quite busy at 57 passengers, 59, 60. There's already more passengers than I can transport. So it is going to get imperative to make sure that I have a capacity that is going to be exceeding 60. Anyway, with the whole debt situation and the interest that I'm paying on my loan, I need to make, let's say, more than 7 grand a year with a new line to make it profitable. That's the math that I have on it right now. I'm not sure if that's 100% correct, but that's what I think is going on. Look at that, 323k, thank you. So hopefully with that in mind, I can then get a bit more transport capacity. And even now I don't have enough capacity. 16 people are left standing on the platform. On the other end, we only have 19 people. And this is, I believe, because Worcester... No, I was going to say people want to get to Worcester a bit more than they do to Colorado. But Colorado Springs is actually getting more people as far as direction transport than Worcester. Which is curious. Let's see, how much does 54 passengers make me? 382k. Very nice. Then all of these passengers are going to move into my bus network. So this bus stop, yes, there it is. It's going to get really bloody busy. There's 14 people there. And it looks like the Sea Springs passenger line at 10 grand a year is still positive, with plenty of passengers left to transport. So I'm going to get another road vehicle. It's going to be another Mack. I'm going to assign that road vehicle to this route as well. It's Sea Springs transport line. This will also potentially have the advantage of getting more people towards my train station, meaning more people to transport for my train. And hopefully it's all going to tie together beautifully like that. Sea Springs passenger line this year has made me 8.45k. Line 3 has already made me 216,000, and that's basically including the old train as well. For passenger, we have 42 passengers out of a potential 54. And so far I seem to be making positive. My debt is now $180,000 a year, which I would like to get rid of course. I could definitely use another 180k a year, but it's not likely to happen anytime soon. Price 200, let's say 300k, not too bad. So, lesson learned. If you're starting out with Transport Fever, focus on passengers. They are way more profitable than just trying to get stuff transported from A to B, like you have here with fuels and oil and stuff. It just wasn't that profitable. And hopefully it will be now, with my just sheer passenger transport. The interesting thing is also that I think the combination of these 3 lines works best. If I would have just one bus line inside Worcester, I don't think it would be very efficient. I don't think that there would be as many people using it, because they're basically using it to get to the train station. Let's ask this... Whoops. Wait one. I need a passenger. I want to see where they want to go. Let's do a bit of market research. We got no further stations there. Bus stops. Are you waiting? No, you're not, are you? Here you go. You're waiting.
Hey.
Hello. Where do you want to go? Shop. Yes. What shop is that? You want to go shop in Colorado Springs. Clearly. Because that makes sense. Destination, building, town in Colorado. Home is in Worcester. Work is in Worcester. And he goes there by foot. So he would not be a likely person to take my bus route. He's just going to go to work by foot. How about you? You are shopping in Colorado Springs. So that's the second guy Who's getting the idea? How about you people? You want to shop. People, what kind of shops don't you have in Worcester that you do have in Colorado Springs and vice versa? Because it just doesn't make sense. People want to get from one town to the other town to do the shopping over there. Are you for real? Okay then. Okay, so this year I'm not really doing that well on operating costs yet. 260 negative. I was hoping for a bit better. Maybe my train is getting too expensive. Finances. It made positive in 1919, 1920. It's not positive yet. Why not? Has it not made enough trips yet? Might that be it? I think it may get profitable after 3 trips. Maybe 4 even. So I just need to make sure this thing does enough rides back and forth to get positive. There we go, now it's positive. And he's not exactly doing capacity though. He's 34 out of 54. 110k. Running costs are still rather high. Let's just not touch it for a couple of months and see if I can make positive this year if I don't buy anything in the sense of vehicles. How are my lines doing? The Sea Springs passenger line is actually doing better than expected. It has a profit of 17k this year, which means that I'm going to be paying for one of these vehicles, one of those Max, in 3 to 4 years. And the rest of it's going to be pretty much sheer profit. But that is not taking running costs into account, I think. No, actually, no, of course it will be, because that's when the line goes positive or negative. So, yeah, we're doing quite well. All 3 lines are in the green, and that's where I want them to be. I potentially, however, have an overcapacity of buses here in Worcester. They are mostly filled. So they're not doing very bad, but could be better. It's December 1921. And 309k. Yep, all lines are doing positive. There, first year's done. I made 148k profit. So not too bad. But I need to get rid of that debt. It is racking up and it's getting worse. I'm just gonna have to basically keep waiting. Because while my money is positive, mostly, emphasis on mostly, it's still not where I want it to be. I want to see profits 1 million, 2 million every year. So that's going to be taking a while. And I gotta say, most of the game seems to be waiting. Waiting and planning out your next route. So let's focus on that bit. Say that I want to expand this rail network to include Laredo. Laredo has 218 persons as population. It's not a large town. It's not too bad, but if I want to expand my rail network to reach all the way to Laredo, how expensive would that be? Let's make it a rough estimate. This is 500k. No, we're definitely not going to have tunnels in there. 335. Let's say 600 grand. No tunnels, please. That's 900 grand. 1.1 million. And then I could have my train station touching Laredo. That would allow passengers to go an even further distance, an even greater distance. So that could work. But again, that's going to up my debt. And that's not very good. Well, I don't know what to do really. Do I need to keep building? Do I need to keep going? Do I need to keep getting more debt? Because it's like I'm paying my debt off and then just getting more debt. It's because basically I want to keep building. And just having 500k for a 7k annual expense, I can live with that. That's not too bad. And just waiting till money drips in 140k a year, I don't find that too interesting. Are there any other potential destinations? How about Gresham? Gresham is a town of 231. It might be a bit closer, but there is a problem. I would need to use this station, because the other one is on the other side of town. That is really annoying. I should have planned that. Because right now the problem is that if I have this station and I want to get the train network to go towards this town through the main station in Worcester, that wouldn't work. There is another option, and that is deleting the train station, rerouting the buses, using this one as my main, but this is a exchange station. This is a freight terminal. So that's not very good either. I don't see it yet. I don't see it yet. And I would like to expand on what I have right now instead of just going towards a new town altogether. Which is a possibility, but I feel that I'm not really using all of the capacity that I have at that stage. Other options. Let's have a look. Reno. Reno. This one transfers logs into planks, which by itself is not very interesting. This is a food processing plant, requires food that's created on a farm. Of course, the nearest farm is nowhere to be found. And I mean nowhere. There. That's the nearest farm. Right there. Bloody hell. Yeah, so that's not really what you would call economically viable. I wonder how economically viable planes are. I can build an airport for about 600k. I need to build 2 of those, and then I could fly people from one end to the next, which would be a fast means of transportation, but for a town of 274 people, I really doubt if building 2 airports and then going with airplanes, which is also quite probably both the servicing cost and the purchasing cost, is going to be profitable. I personally do not believe so. I really don't believe so. So that is not really that interesting. I do, however, see it as one of the few options I have to reach New York City. Because getting to New York City, well, you're going to have to go either by road, which means a really long bus ride from, let's say, Laredo, or taking a train and tunneling your way through. Let's say that that is what I would like to do. That is gonna get ridiculously expensive. And I mean ridiculously. Of course, this is not the most effective route. Where is New York? There's... oh, we're not even halfway there. That would cost me basically nothing short of 90 million. If I would take a more direct route... oh, we have a new vehicle. I would take a more direct route, 7 million... I still think that would be about, what, 30 million maybe? Yeah, 40 million. That is a massive amount of cost to recuperate. If I can recuperate it at all. So I don't see that happening anytime soon. So I'd say that the only viable way to get to New York would be to use a plane. Planes or buses. I'm not going to be building an airport for 10 million, thank you very much. Or 22 million. 6 million. The terrain here is a problem. 12 million. God, New York is terrible terrain. 34 million, and I cannot even align that here. Is there flat land anywhere? No. Okay, so not even aircraft are an option to get to New York City. You want to get to New York, you're going to have to take your horse and walk, basically. Because it's... well, it's not viable for me. I am definitely not going to be providing that service anytime soon. No way in hell. Way too expensive. Alternatively, Gresham. I'm considering going for Gresham. Can I upgrade this thing? What is catenary? Catenary? I have no idea. What, is that what you're costing? Oh no, that's the expense, the upgrade costs. What is that? Give me one moment as I'm going to look that up. Alright, I've worked out what that exactly is. You see, what we currently have are trains that are not running on electricity. They're running on steam. As you can see, they're making quite a large amount of puffs of steam. And basically, if you want to upgrade that to electricity, which will probably be very expensive, you're going to have to get these. These are the electric masts that provide the train with electricity or power as it's moving along. So that is what that is. It's nothing stellar, it's just the power lines. So that's not really something I want to be investing in at the moment either. Now I am looking at these two facilities, these two chemical plants which build plastics. They require either 2 grain or 1 bit of oil. Now we've seen that this oil thing doesn't seem to produce that much, but I am curious to see if it will work. Because if I can get 1 bit of oil there, it will produce stuff. It will produce plastics. And there is already a road going from there all the way to here. So we're going to have a very basic test. I'm going to set up a very, very small terminal here, a truck station. Make sure that it is covered. Sure, pay 100 grand for that. Are you crazy? 90, 80. Oof, that's better. 26. Yes, please, 23, that's better. So 1 there. It's going to take the long way around. It's going to take this road alongside the train tracks, through town, over the bridge, and then get towards this position. And yes, it is covered. Okay. New line. I'm going to see if this is profitable if I just use a simple vehicle. That station, that one, and that one. It is a terribly long route and it's going to take forever to get there. So be it. Buy a road vehicle. The Mac AC can transport iron, stone, crude oil. That's what I want. 8 units of capacity. Go get that. I want you to set to line 1. Line 1 is my test route, so let's call it as such. This is my test line plastic. If this works, if this is profitable, then I can then take the plastic that's being produced there from this same truck station and transport it directly into Worcester, which is something that I believe they do need. Oh, tell me they need it, please. No? Oh, derp. They don't need it. That means that if this stuff is delivered, they're not even gonna care. They don't even care. Which sucks. And for some reason there is still nothing waiting here. They have 58 stored, but I'm not sure why it's not working. This is something that is still a big mystery to me. So if you have any explanation or any things that I'm missing, then do share. Because this should be taking on supplies or products from this one, from the oil well. For some reason, it's not. While it is in the influence sphere. There, it does light up. There is a road, so they should be able to get the stuff, but it's just not being supplied or not yet being supplied. As for my finances, I am doing quite well. I have a $338,000 profit last year, $276 the year before, and $261 the year before that one. So my profits are going up, albeit slowly. What is going on with this oil well? Why won't you just output stuff? I do not get it. Well, that's a mystery that we're going to have to be taking a look at soon. In the meanwhile, my train is still very profitable. It's 750,000 in the green. So this thing is definitely profitable. Test line 1, minus 6k. It's not that terrible. Could be better, and I hope it will be better, but for now, it's all I have. So it's not nearly as risky as the train station is. What other options do I have here? Wood or logs, actually. That's another food processing plant, which of course you build right in the middle of nowhere. With a road not even going directly in, but the other way around. Weird RNG metrics there. There is a road towards Gresham. I could set up a bus line as a test. If this thing continues to run on empty, it's just... You know what, never mind. Never mind. You know what, I'll look into that, and we're going to have a look at that next episode, see if it's worth keeping. As for this episode, I'm going to wrap this one up right here. My company is doing not too terrible. I am making a profit, not that much yet, but I am in the green, which is far better than I can see last episode. So, hope you enjoyed watching. If you have any tips for me, please share. And otherwise, I'll see you soon for the episode that is following this one. It's going to be in a few days. And until then, have fun playing Transport Fever. Thank you for watching. See you soon.